menopause can take a real toll on your emotions and hit harder than ever before. Feelings may be amplified, dulled, or fluctuate in ways that can be surprising or even frightening. Let's explore some of the main emotional changes you may experience during the perimenopause, menopause, and beyond, and what you can do to support your emotional well-being. A few weeks ago, we asked the We Talk Menopause community about which emotional symptoms they were experiencing the most. And the really surprising thing was that so many of you said that you were experiencing all of them at any particular time. So what I'm going to do today is talk about these emotions, how they can happen, and how you can help yourself just to build up your emotional resilience. So why does this happen at this time? There can be lots of different reasons, but remember, they're not all due to the menopause, but the menopause can amplify them. And also our nervous system can become a lot weaker, and that makes it much easier to react to things that normally would go right over the top of our heads. So it can be things like hormonal shifts. We know that falling estrogen and progesterone can make us less emotionally robust. It can make us overreact to things, to become a lot more jittery or overwhelmed with just general daily life. Poor sleep, and we know that poor sleep is a huge issue in the perimenopause and menopause, and even one night's poor sleep can have a huge impact on our emotions the next day. We've got the usual culprits that I'm always talking about, so that's dehydration and also low blood sugar. It can be life in general. Here we are at a point in time when we have so much to do. Instead of being able to go away and just cope with the menopause and nothing else, we might have children still at home, we have jobs, we have relationships, we may have friends demanding our time, we may be looking after our parents. So where do we fit into all of this? Where are we going to find time just to relax and for our bodies to cope? And what happens then is that we are multitasking so much, our body just doesn't know what to do with itself. Everybody is different and everybody reacts in different ways. Some of you will have one or two, some of you, as we found out before, or a lot of you, as we found out before, can end up with a huge combination on a daily basis, whereas others will just find that they sail through this particular phase. So the common symptoms are things like anxiety. So this can just be for no reason at all. It can just suddenly appear. You start to worry about things. You start to find that you wake up and you're anxious as if you're already preparing for a horrendous day. You can worry about your health. You can worry about social anxiety. You just can't cope with buses and supermarkets and people at work. And it may well be that you just have this general sense of unease. You don't know what it is, but it's just there, always at the back of your mind. It can be panic attacks, and you can panic and worry about little things that just weren't an issue before. And you can feel panicky and worry, and you don't know what it is. You can worry too about the state of the world and what's going on, and your mind takes on that kind of story and play all on its own, and you just find that you get swept away with all these horrible thoughts that are going on. You can feel overly emotional. So there's those of you that are going to cry at the slightest little thing. You can't really cope with anything that's remotely sad or unhappy, whereas there's others of you will find that you just become emotionally numb and you just don't feel anything at all. It can be the anger, so it can be rage. You get angry at nothing. You get angry at people that you love. It can be that you just get irritable at the slightest little thing. It can be mood swings, so you find that your mood can go up and down like a yo-yo. And this can happen several times a day, which can be very disconcerting. So what can you do to support your emotional well-being? There's lots of simple things that you can do. So support your hormonal balance. We all need a little bit of extra hormones on a daily basis. So you can do things with foods that are high in phytoestrogens, things like soya and flax, your chickpeas and lentils, and some of your cruciferous vegetables as well. You could look at a phytoestrogen supplement. Remember your healthy fats. We need fat in order to make our own hormones. And if you are on a low fat diet all the time, you're depriving your body of one of the main things it needs to make more hormones. Look at oily fish, you can look at avocados, your healthy oils, olive oil, and your coconut oil, and nuts such as walnuts can be really, really effective. And these fats are also really good for brain function. Magnesium, for those of you that have been watching for a long time, I love magnesium because it's good for so many things. It's good for mood, it's good for relaxation, it's good for stress, it's good for sleep, it's good for your bones, it's good for your muscles, and it's good for helping with sugar cravings as well. So it's a great one. Dark green leafy vegetables, your nuts and seeds, your whole grains, dark chocolate, but only in moderation. I find that one's out for me because I'm not one of these people that can just eat one square. So it depends on how good you are with chocolate. Magnesium supplement, really helpful because it's so hard to get enough magnesium in our diet in this day and age. For general stress and anxiety, you're looking at things like magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate. Hydration, remember the water. Dehydration can have a huge impact on your nervous system, and it can make just about any single menopause symptom worse. So remember, you're looking at 1.5 liters of plain water, and have that over and above any other drinks that you may be having. Stabilize your blood sugar. This is another really important one. Our blood sugar control can get much more reactive. It can go up and down at a moment's notice, and that can have a huge impact on our mood. So you're looking at good quality protein with every meal, healthy fats again, complex carbohydrates can be a really good one. Have little snacks in between meals as well. If you find that it's in between meals where your mood and everything goes up and down. So it can be things like avocados and a little bit of cream cheese, or an oat cake and nut butter, or a little bit of apple and peanut butter, something that's just going to keep things nice and stable. Sleep is really important. We know that for so many things. So try and get a really good sleep routine. And I'm sure you all know it now. Don't be watching TV or your phones or your computers within an hour before going to bed. Have the room nice and dark and cool. If you must read before going to bed, don't make sure that it's not thrillers or anything that's revving up your nervous system. You want things to be lovely and quiet and calm. You can look at doing a little bit of gentle stretching before going to bed, and when you're in bed, just before you try and get to sleep, a little bit of deep breathing can be really helpful. You can look at herbal helpers. It can be things like passion flower, like our passiflora spray. This is a nice one because you can carry it with you in your bag and use it as and when you need it, especially if you feel that any of the emotions are bubbling up whilst you're out and about. You can also look at herbs such as lemon balm, valerian, and hops. We've also got the flower essence. I've mentioned those before. There are lovely little ones. Again, you can just carry them with you. If you get into a bit of a fluster, a few drops straight onto the tongue. Ones like mood essence, or my favorite one, which is the relaxing essence. So when do you need to ask for help and support? If you find that any of the emotional issues that you're having problems with are affecting your daily life, they're affecting your work, they're affecting your relationships, if you feel you're no longer able to cope with them, then this is the point you need to ask for help. One of the things I find about so many of us going through the perimenopause and menopause is that we must be stoic, we must push our way through, we must multitask to the nth degree and prove that we can do it. All that happens when we do this is we just end up collapsing. Our symptoms get worse and we find we're unable to cope. So know when to ask for help, because that's a strength. Hope you found this one helpful. If you have any stories, please share them. You know I love to read everything. I'll see you soon. Have a lovely week.